Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. This is John with Tommy's Top Picks here to bring you your weekly flesh and blood market update. Before we get started, I apologize for any pauses in the dialogue and any coughs that make it through. I have caught COVID. I've been sick for the past 5 or 6 days, and I'm coming out of it. I'm on the mend, but boy, do I cough a lot still. I've never coughed in my sleep before. I found that to be a new feature of life as of last night, so loads of fun. Let's jump in. And hopefully I won't cough too much, but this will be a short one because of that, obviously. Lots of market activity. Wow. I don't know exactly what's going on. If there is some sort of event driving these prices, please let me know in the comment. It could be something I'm just missing because I've been out of the loop and, trying to sleep off COVID. But yeah, a lot of activity. So let's jump in and go through it. Monarch is down 7.27% to 55 from 59. Nothing too crazy or surprising here. This is kind of in that range it's been over the past, call it 2 or 3 months. Obviously, we've been elevated for a little while off of the 50 low, but, we hit it 2 months ago. Big deal. Not a big change, and before that it was lower, so nothing crazy here, just kind of bouncing around. Maybe it lost its excitement around the Angel Ars and all that sort of thing. Tales of Aria, this is unlimited boxes, down 54.84%. This is an insane price. I don't think I've ever seen a box of Flesh and Blood go for $31, but it sure is $31. That is with shipping included. I was shocked. I don't expect that to last very long, but if anything, it's going to be the Tales boxes unlimited. I feel like it's the least desirable box that's on shelves anywhere right now. I could be wrong. Maybe there's something else, like one of the Blitz decks or something everyone hates. Probably Chain, because it has all illegal cards in it. But just thinking through, it is one of the least liked booster boxes right now, I imagine. So still crazy low, insanely low. So if there's cards in Tails that you suspect you'll need for a LL format or something, I don't know exactly what. Maybe you just want to draft it with some friends. That's a dirt cheap way to get that experience. Yeah, that's crazy low. But yeah, that's one that probably should have been sent to the grinder, the shredder, and we've talked about that, suspecting that was a thing. Looks like not enough happened. But on the other side of it, when we get to first, we'll see how that's faring, and it's a different story. Unlimited cases, Tails, it jumped 20% up, yay, to 274. This is obviously going to create a weird opportunity. Well, actually, I don't think it will be opportunity at all, because the boxes are lower. It's just a weird market dynamic with a massive case premium. I no idea what that. It makes no sense to me. I don't know what's going on with this tail stuff, but obviously it's going through some weird capitulation craziness. But yeah, up 20.44% to 274 from 218. I don't expect that to last either, any more than I expect the $31 to last, but that's where it is right now. ARC first edition boxes down 14.95% to 1565. I believe this is the lowest since tracking. It's definitely in striking distance of the lowest. Nope, looks like I did get down to 1,000 way back here in January of 23. It's interesting. We do seem to get a kind of a dead zone around that February time frame. I know some people poo-poo the seasonality of this game, but there definitely is a seasonality of this game. It's a player-driven game, and the tournaments are a specific time of year, so it's given there's a seasonality. Point being, it's at a very low local low. I even think this one had some pictures for like the second and third sale, or maybe like the fifth sale, and they were looking pretty clean. So if you have held off on getting a pristine box for your shelf, this might be the opportunity. I don't know. It's a lot of money for a single box of cards for a game that's mostly player driven, not really sealed collectible driven. So keep that in mind. Be cautious and don't spend money you can't afford to lose, because it is possible to lose your money. It is just one of those things. Moving on, Crew is up 12.11% to 454 from 399. This is not a great pattern. This is a downward trend. We talked about how we get these zigzags in a channel. It was 470 when it spiked up, dropped down to 464, back up to just shy of 400, dropped down to just shy of 400. Now we're back up to 450, which is a little bit lower than these previous highs, so it feels like a downward trend. That said, it is above these 420s where it's sitting for a long time. So we're seeing volatility before the price jumps up. It is possible. It is possible this is a stepping stone towards the next stage and next tier. Maybe the supply is running out of these first edition boxes. That would be fantastic. But I'm not gonna get excited about it yet because, like I said, it's not moving on an upward trend. It's moving on a downward trend. So we'll have to see where this lands. We can take a look at this chart. Tales of Aria first edition boxes up 11.86% to 59 from 52. Again, opposite of the $31 unlimited. Not really sure what's going on, but Tales has a lot of activity right now. I'm not sure why. If anyone knows, please let me know in the comments. It doesn't make any sense to me, but I don't pay attention to the meta as much as other people, so it's got to be a reason. Anyways, nice. I'm glad to see it. Tails deserves it. It was a great box, great set. Obviously, it is one of the situations where it's not really playable, so where that lands, we'll have to see. Everfest, everyone's favorite. Everfestian's favorite, everyone's favorite. I don't know. There's got to be a way to make a play on words of that. 11.86% up, 59 from 52. Same numbers as we saw with Tails, which isn't unusual. We see that frequently where things sit at similar prices. This one we've been watching for a while. Obviously, we talk about it a lot. A lot of volatility in this area. It is unfortunate that this new pop up was less than this previous. Kind of high. I was hoping to see us in the 60s. Maybe by next week we get there. It's not the best look, but I do think that we are seeing supply run out here. So again, this could be volatility. Let's look at both Everfest and Crew first edition boxes. I think that will be worth looking at the charts, kind of comparing, seeing if there's any similarities or things to contrast. Outsiders up 6.76% to 74 from 69. Awesome. Still below map, obviously, but it's great that we're seeing some upward movement in a recent set. I will say, I talked about this last week. I ordered some Evo because it appeared to have disappeared from the market. As we talked about, scroll down here. As we talked about, it jumped up to this 350 mark, and it's still here. So nothing under map anymore available on TCG Player. That's unusual. We don't see that very often. My order has not been processed yet. That doesn't mean anything. Sometimes there can be delay from weather and all sorts of other stuff. So I guess we're going to have to wait a week or two. I will let you guys know if the order gets processed. It is one I never got a case for the shelf. So when this jumped, I was like, oh, shoot, I better get that just in case. Hopefully I get the order fulfilled. I may not. If I don't, then we will know that we are in between waves at distributor. LSS has said in the past, recently actually, that they have their own warehousing system and they're releasing in waves. I'm imagining that's around the 2.0 and beyond time frame thing, and that they've been reducing how much they release with each one of these waves, coming off of uprising probably the most to distribution, and then slowly pulling it back until they're getting to this point where they can kind of measure. And we're seeing with heavy hitters, it is down from distribution. I cannot get that from distribution. Will they release another wave? I really do think so. It is a draftable product. It's expected to be the primary product for a while, but will they do it very quickly? With this price, I'm guessing not. What we're seeing with heavy hitters is an attempt, I'm guessing, this is again based on what the interview was, Fluke said, they're trying to keep it at map, right? Which means limit the amount that gets pushed out, keep it at like equilibrium with demand so that it stays around map. That allows stores to make money. This is a very positive thing for your LGS. So if you support your LGS type, this is a very good thing. It means they don't have to dump on the market to get their cash back. They can actually sell it at map in store and be competitive with every online retailer because there's a constraint on supply that matches demand with a target price. It is something that can be done. It is very, very tricky. It oftentimes leads to distortions in the market that are not very positive when you don't let price equilibrium find its own place. It's just an economics 101 thing. That said, this is a very specific micro ecosystem, and it could be managed to a degree. I would be careful with it. Obviously, don't want it to go crazy because you hit the wrong button, you do the wrong amount, and you release too little, and suddenly you have $1,000 boxes. Everyone gets mad. Blah blah blah. We've talked about this. It's one of those things where I think it's worth keeping an eye on. I hope they do figure out how to land the plane and do that. It would be good for everyone involved, players, LGSs, collectors, and LSS, I think. LSS actually would probably be the one taking the most pain from that, because to do that successfully, they would almost certainly have to overprint, because you can't spin up a printer on demand like that. So they have to overprint and then release in stepwise function to the market. And that's a lot of labor, a lot of work, a lot of time, a lot of thought. And then a lot of warehousing cost on dead sets that aren't popular, right? So then you end up with stuck stuff. Now, granted, you can burn it like he said he's doing, but you want to hold on to it to a certain time frame, so there's still some warehousing. Now, you could probably work that out. You could probably figure out to a fair degree how much to hold for each set and over time, sorts of things. But you're still going to have the vagrancies of the market and the things that people love and don't love, right? You know, your Evos versus your heavy hitters, right? It's just going to be a thing. Some things are going to hit, some things are not. And what that does is it kind of creates a bit of a challenge for them to work out. Now, I love that they're taking on the challenge. It's good for the game, so it's awesome. I did want to jump over into the Marvels. I've been keeping a close eye on these, and dang it, the stupid filter's on the screen again. I hate that. Nope, go away. All right, cool. These are the most expensive ones. I thought this was interesting. First off, Betsy, Olympia, which we know are not the best heroes right now, are, you know, in the call it 150 range. They're a little bit lower, a little bit higher, right? But they are available for what I would consider a very reasonable range for a Marvel hero. Kasai has gone up. This is for Tommy because I know he's super interested in this. It was originally really cheap, right? Well, really cheap, $350, right? And it has since moved up. Hold on. Sorry about that. It has since moved up and sold at a $600 range, but has come back down. I suspect this will continue to drift down a little bit as boxes get opened. As you can see, supply is hitting the market. So I think we'll see a continued decline. I don't know how low it goes. Kasai is probably the one to keep an eye on this set because Kasai is the most popular. It was popular before the set came out with the previous Kasai, right? So, so my thought is this will be the premier hero, as it were, and as a result, we will see this one elevated. What that number is, I don't know. Based on history, I'd say it's that $500 mark. You know, like Levia was for a long time, $500. Like some of the angels, this angel has come down, but it was sitting at 500 for a long time. So I'm guessing this one lands in a 500 range. It would be cooler if it was down in the 300 range. There are a lot of them, so maybe the supply works out that way. I don't know what the print run numbers are on this. And then KO obviously is very popular because very good, consistent, I guess, deck from what I'm hearing from the crowd out there. Another thing to note, Codex of Frailty is finally hitting that mark. I don't know if this will last, so take this with a grain of salt, but hitting that mark where it's jumping above. I just saw this while I was looking at these other things, but it was very interesting. Like, as of last month, I guess this is kind of old news, but I don't pay attention to single set often. As of last month, it was selling in this 240, almost down to 200 range, but guess what? It's like gone now, and we're at 360. So it has moved up significantly from where it was kind of settling for a long time. I know that price was sitting there for a long time, listed for a long time. As of last month, it basically got bought out. I don't know if it was a buyout. It didn't. Well, maybe it was. There's 3 in one day, 2 another. It wasn't a very big buyout if it was a buyout, put it that way. But it got to a point where these prices are no longer held. The supply is incredibly constrained. I doubt we'll see a lot more opened, right? Because this just isn't a super popular set. Maybe that's why the prices are pumping on Outsiders, but I don't really know. Hold on one sec. Sorry, I'm getting dry and gonna have to get off here in a second. But yeah, so 360 is pretty sweet for a legendary card, a very awesome epic Marvel, something that speaks to the playability. Beautiful art, has been in high demand from the get-go, but did see the decline that we see with these sorts of things as they come out. We're kind of reaching the other side of that curve, I think. And if we see these sales go through at this 360 range, which by the way, we have not seen any sales there, so you take, like I said, this is maybe a little preliminary, but if we see sales there, then we're going to start seeing this doing the J curve, and that basically indicates that we may be at the bottom of supply demand on these. Remember, 2.0 product, I'm guessing they're limiting the releases of these boxes, so we are seeing some interesting movement on these ones here. Let's jump into the two charts I talked about, and then I'm going to jump off. I apologize, but I'm getting really close to coughing like every other breath now. First edition, what was it? First edition, oh shoot, what did I say? Everfest? Yes. Crew? Yes, those were it. First edition, Crew, and Everfest. All right. All right. Yeah, there's really not that much to report here. Okay, so we did just see the decline in the box price here on first edition Crew. Was this really a thing? I don't know if this was a thing. We do see this downward slope here. It is the channel volatility. This may actually be a preliminary to it rising. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see a little bit, but this does look like it's forming a volatility channel, which is what we typically see before a new price up, where it jumps up to the next level and then settles there. Case prices are continuing to decline with it, though, so it makes me wonder if that's true. Let's go check out Everfest. That one's always interesting these days. Yeah, man, it's gotten chaotic. Originally, we had this like kind of upward channel thing going, but it broke that, and now we're in just this chaotic zone. Sorry, this upward channel here was like originally what we were seeing. Felt like a step up. We may be on the step up, although we were here not that long ago. It's really hard to say. This one's a mess. Yeah, this one's a mess. I think between the news about the the excess being burnt of Unlimited, that is, and the just the demand for the cards in it, I think this one's going to be hard to read for a while. We're probably going to just have a volatile time until it settles out somewhere. That might just be all this one is. I was thinking they'd look more similar and we'd be able to draw some conclusions from that, but it does not, unfortunately. Well, that's it for today. I apologize again for it being short and coughing and all the rest. I hope you guys are out there cracking packs, playing games, enjoying this hobby that we love. Until next time, have a good one.